Hello everyone, welcome to the US Immigration News. If you're waiting on an I-130 approval or helping someone you love through the process, then you already know how hard it can be. The waiting, the uncertainty, the silence after filing, it wears people down. Families are stuck apart, plans are on hold, and sometimes it feels like there's no end in sight. But today, we're bringing you something different. Real clarity, fresh data, and some genuine signs of improvement. We've looked at the latest I-130 processing updates for July 2025. And while it's not perfect, there are hopeful shifts happening. So if you're wondering how long your petition might take, what's causing the delays, or what you can do to stay one step ahead, this video is for you. In this video, we'll break down what's happening behind the scenes at USCIS, how processing timelines are changing for family-based green cards, and what you need to know now, whether you're just getting started or you've been waiting for months. If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it, so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. Now let's get into the video. Form I-130, as many of you know, is the first step to proving that a valid family relationship exists between a US citizen or green card holder and their foreign relative. Once it's approved, it unlocks the path to either adjustment of status in the US or consular processing abroad. But for too long, this process has felt like a black box. You file it, you wait, and then you wait some more. But there's a shift happening. Over the past year, USCIS has quietly been expanding its workforce, modernizing systems, and clearing through the mountain of backlog petitions that have frustrated so many applicants. And for many I-130 applicants in 2025, those efforts are finally beginning to show results. For example, many US citizens sponsoring their spouse or minor child are seeing approvals come through between 11 to 15 months. That may not sound fast, but it is significantly better than the multi-year waits we saw not long ago. For green card holders sponsoring a spouse or child, however, the wait time still stretches longer, often 29 to 35 months, and in some cases more. But even in those categories, movement is happening. So why do these timelines vary so much? It comes down to two things: your immigration category and where your case is being processed. Some USCIS service centers have significantly higher volumes than others. For instance, centers in places like Texas and California receive a flood of cases every single day. Others, like Potomac or Nebraska, may handle fewer but still experience surges depending on staffing and assignment. And then there's the role of digital processing. One of the major improvements in 2025 is the expansion of online filing and digital case management. Submitting your I-130 online through the USCIS account system can mean faster receipt notices, easier document uploads, and even earlier updates like "case is being actively reviewed." It doesn't guarantee a faster approval, but it can definitely smooth out the communication process. Once your petition is filed, the first sign of progress is usually the receipt notice. Most applicants are now receiving this within 1 to 2 weeks. From there, biometric appointments can follow if necessary, particularly if you're filing concurrently with adjustment of status. But the longest phase tends to be the internal review. That's when USCIS officers verify relationship documents, check security databases, and determine whether the petition is approvable. In some cases, they issue a request for evidence, or RFE. This could be for anything from missing signatures to unclear relationship evidence, like birth certificates or marriage records. And here's where you have power. Applicants who respond to RFEs promptly and with clear, complete information often see their cases move quickly after that. On the other hand, delays in responding or submitting incomplete responses can push your timeline back by months. If you're applying from outside the US, approval of the I-130 doesn't mean the process is over. It simply shifts to the next phase, handled by the National Visa Center and your local US embassy or consulate. And for applicants from high-demand countries like India, Mexico, or the Philippines, you may also have to wait for your visa category's priority date to become current in the monthly visa bulletin. For some families, that visa bulletin becomes a regular source of both hope and frustration. But for many immediate relatives, like spouses or parents of US citizens, there is no wait for a visa number. That means once the I-130 is approved, they can move to the next step immediately. This is one of the key reasons why it's so important to know your category and stay updated on timelines. It helps manage expectations, reduces stress, and allows families to plan ahead, especially when it comes to travel, housing, or schooling for children. Another positive change we're seeing in 2025 is better transparency. USCIS has been regularly updating its processing time dashboards, and more applicants are receiving status changes in their online accounts. For example, the message, "Cases being actively reviewed," has become more common. And while it doesn't mean a decision is coming tomorrow, it's often a sign that your case is no longer just sitting in a queue. So, what can you do to make this process smoother? Start by making sure your I-130 petition is complete, accurate, and well organized. Include all required documentation the first time. Double-check that all names and dates match across your forms, IDs, and supporting documents. If you're submitting online, scan documents clearly and in the correct format. And if you get an RFE, respond as quickly and thoroughly as possible. For those waiting and feeling discouraged, it's okay. This is a difficult process emotionally and logistically. But the signs point toward a slow, steady improvement. The I-130 may still take time, but it's no longer the years-long purgatory it once was for many families. We want you to stay hopeful, stay alert, and stay informed. You are not alone in this process. Thousands of families are walking this path with you, and many are finally beginning to see real progress, some for the first time in years. So keep checking your case status. Stay on top of updates from USCIS, and trust that things are moving, even when it feels like nothing is happening. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas, such as B1 and B2, work visas, such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the US Immigration News channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.